next speaker is a passionate solo traveler. She has an inspiring journey of self-discovery, and she also empowers others to discover themselves, especially when it comes to solo traveling. Solo traveling, in her opinion, helps others overcome so many things, and she'll reveal those special things in her talk that is titled, The Transformative Power of Solo Travel. Please help me welcome our next speaker, Sandra, also known as Queen, Sandra Queen Parker. Put your hands together.
Do I have any travelers here in the house? People who love to travel? Yeah. Great. Because I've been fascinated with travel since I was a little girl. I'm a Gen X latchkey kid, and so the television became my babysitter and my companion. And you know, we didn't have a lot of channels back then, and my mother watched all these old movies, and so I had to watch what she watched. But I grew to love them, especially the ones that were filmed in these beautiful destinations, like Elvis Presley's Blue Hawaii. Then there was like The Sound of Music, filmed in Austria. The green landscape and the mountains were just breathtaking. And then there was Roman Holiday, you know, filmed in Italy with all those iconic landmarks, the Roman Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, and the Spanish Steps. But my ultimate favorite was the Ten Commandments. I couldn't wait for Easter to come around to watch this movie. It built my love of history and architecture till this day, you know? Yeah. I used to play with my dolls and work out these scenes of the movies and just, you know, dream of the day that I could travel to these places. And I would pray at night, God, please, 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 let me be able to go there someday. And fast forward to my adult life, I started traveling extensively. Some with family, but a lot of friends. And I had 2 friends that I traveled with very well. You know, there was no drama. The chemistry was good. But, you know, they were younger, and so they wanted to, you know, pursue other goals. So we stopped traveling together, and we remained friends. And, oh boy, and that's when my headache with group travel began. I just could never find that chemistry again, you know? There was always some issues, some drama. You know, have y'all ever planned a trip with family and friends and it just never got out the chat? And then if it did, you know, somebody brought their drama with them, their boyfriend problems, their marriage problems, you know, their financial problems. We had a year to plan this trip and you broke. And so the trip becomes about them and, you know, you can't enjoy yourself. And then there's the trips where, you know, your destination never gets picked. So you're scared to travel alone, so you go with the group and you find yourself, and I may be exaggerating, in the Bahamas for like the 15th time. Can we go someplace else? And to add insult to injury, you get there, you can't even do the things you want to do because they chose to do a different itinerary, right? And so again, you're afraid to go by yourself. So here you are, you're stuck doing what they want to do. I can't tell you the amount of times I was on a catamaran watching other people smoke. And it's not even my thing. I want to be at the botanical gardens. I want to be at the museums. I want to hang out with the locals and indulge in the culture, right? Well, I just knew I had to do something different because this was not it. I did not want to end up in the someday club. You know that club, someday I'll do this. Someday I'll go there. I like being a part of the, you know what, been there, done that society. So I made a decision to start traveling solo. And it was the best decision I ever made, okay? And people have concerns when it comes to traveling solo. You know, it's scary, it's lonely, it's expensive. Well, let's talk about it. You know, going someplace you've never been thousands of miles away from home, it's gonna be scary, right? But facing your fears can also be very empowering, you know? And research and social media are your friend. I can tell you right now, when I'm traveling my trip, the most information I get comes from social media travel groups. People already did what you're trying to do. They're giving you the tips, where to go, where to stay, what to eat, you know, giving you tour guide, you know, referrals. So it becomes easier to make a decision whether this destination is good for you or not, right? And of course, if you're not ready to open up, you're gonna be lonely. And I'll tell you what, when you open up, you will see that there's other travelers and locals there who are willing to share in your experience and guide you on. These people will push you out of your comfort zone and make you do some crazy, new and exciting things. And I can attest to it, okay? They had me zip lining in the jungles of Belize. I'm riding dirt bikes in the middle of the desert in Dubai. And I parasailed to what I thought was heaven, oh my Lord, in the Maldives. All you can see was a dot on my pictures. Yeah, but my favorite, they had me flamenco dancing on a tabletop in Spain. All of this at the right age of 50. Yeah, so if you open up, you will see, you will meet some amazing people. And the hardest part of all of that is saying goodbye when it's time to leave. Yeah. Solo travel used to be very expensive, but now the industry is growing so vastly that they're making accommodations for us. You know, they're not traveling us for double occupancy anymore, and cruise lines are offering solo cabins, and you know, different travel platforms are offering packages specifically for solo travelers. And you want to know something? Guess who's leading the pack? Women. Women of all ages are traveling solo now. And guess what? The fastest growing group of that are women 65 and older. Yeah. When they did a poll, Forbes magazine did a poll, and they wanted to know, well, why are you traveling solo? And people say, I am tired of waiting for people to go with me. And I want to do what I want to do when I get there. And I want to grow and learn about myself. The same reasons why I travel solo. Yeah. Yeah. And so the more I started traveling, I realized I wasn't just going to these beautiful, exotic places. I was finding myself. I was learning all about myself. I was learning to love myself. And just like peeling an onion back, the layers of that onion, I was finding out things about myself that I didn't even know existed, or either were hidden or neglected, right? So solo travel can be about discovery and connection. I rediscovered my love of opera and classical music in Italy. You see, when I was a child, I learned how to play the trumpet and the clarinet, and I was trained in classical music, and I really, really loved it. But I'm from the projects of Brooklyn, and that music ain't appreciated there. Even my own mother would say, girl, if you don't turn that mess off. And so, yeah, I found out being different in that environment was not good. It could actually be very scary. So rather than risk being bullied and criticized, I kind of left that at school when I came home. And so when I finished with school, it was easy to disconnect. But here I am, years later. I'm in Rome, Italy, and I'm in a taxi cab. I am on my way to see the Roman Colosseum. Oh my God, I've been waiting for this moment for so long to check this off my bucket list. All the history in that building. The architecture is one of the wonders of the world. I am so excited, and my hands are getting clammy, and my heart is racing, and Sandra, just calm down, calm down, calm down. So I closed my eyes, and I took a couple of deep breaths just to relax myself. And I hadn't noticed that music that was playing softly in the background. And I started swaying and humming. Wait a minute, this is familiar. Wait, I know this song. This is from a very famous opera called La Boheme. Yeah, wait a minute. And that voice is Luciano Pavarotti. Girl, where you pulling this from? And the name of the song is Check Galida Manani. Oh my God, that means the small cold hand in Italian. And I just wanted to just stay in that moment, and I found myself going back into a time in my childhood. And then I saw his face. It was Mr. Barry, my music teacher. Oh, he taught us all genres of music, but he loved classical music and opera, and he made it so much fun. He used to get so excited, waving at the time, teaching us how to play. And when we hit the right notes, he was just, oh my God. Yeah. Have you ever just quieted out the noise, and a memory from out of nowhere just pops up and makes you feel all warm and inside and puts a smile on your face for like the rest of the day? He was more than a music teacher. He was a mentor. He he taught us that being different was okay, thinking outside of the box was okay, that leaders and inventors thought outside of the box. So being different was good. Yeah, it was good. And then I opened up my eyes, and my cab driver, Salvatore, was looking at me through the rear mirror, and he had this big smile on his face and this thick Italian accent. "You like her?" And I said, "Oh yes, I love it." And that opened up dialogue for us to talk about more things. And he became my driver for the rest of my time in Rome and took me to places I never would have thought to go to on my own, including his cousin's wedding. I'm talking about an authentic Italian wedding, you know, the ones where you come out of the church and you walk with the couple through the village and everybody just celebrates in their happiness. And we walked all the way to the Spanish Steps, and we partied and we had a great time. An experience I will never ever forget. Now, had I been in that taxi cab with other people, that nostalgic moment would have never taken place. And I might not have ever opened up to Salvatore to have those conversations, right? So, solo travel can lead to rediscovery and reconnecting, but it can also lead to healing. I had a gym teacher, and I just love this woman. She traveled all over the world, and she had recently went to Egypt. And she was showing the students her photos, and there was this one picture in particular that just, you know, took my attention. It was a Abu symbol in Aswan, and this is a huge temple. So to give you an idea of what it looks like, Mount Rushmore, with all the presidents, is designed after this temple. And so I'm saying to myself, wow, how could they, you know, build something like this back in that time? So I let her know how I felt about it, and I wanted to travel just like her and go to Egypt in particular. And to my surprise, she put her hand on her hip, and she had this little snooty attitude. And she was like, "Unfortunately, you ain't gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna stay here and have all our babies." And I was just surprised. What does she mean, unfortunately? Why would she say something like that? Why does she think so lowly of me? And I'm trying to hold the tears, and I have a lump in my throat. But even worse, I'm gonna be sick because she just broke my heart, and it's in my stomach. So I turn around and I run it out of the gym museum. I ran out, and I never went back again. Fast forward, 37 years later, 2 children, 3 degrees, living in the suburbs of South Carolina. I booked the trip for my 52nd birthday to Egypt. And I stood in front of that very same temple with tears rolling down my face. But this time it was tears of joy because I made it. I got there. It took me some time, but I got there. And unfortunately, and nowhere, lifted up out of my spirit. And I want you to know I felt free as a bird. Yes, I felt free as a bird. So solo travel can be healing. It can also lead to, you know, self-discovery and personal growth. It teaches you confidence. It teaches you how to trust. It teaches you how to handle your finances. It teaches you how to problem solve. You know, you don't have anybody else there but you, so you're playing A, B, C, and D. But the thing that I like most about it is that it teaches you to have a positive attitude. People do things differently in other countries. You know, some of them on vacation mode all day. They don't care if you're in a rush. You learn how to be in the moment and learn the culture and respect the customs. Yeah. So you see, solo travel can be more than just visiting these beautiful places. It can lead to self-discovery. With each adventure, you can find facets of yourself that you never knew existed while exploring the world around you. So I ask you, how much time do you spend by yourself? Do you truly know yourself? I tell you what, you can let the transformative power of solo travel help guide you to find your true essence. So are you ready to take that solo trip? Yeah? Good. I'll see you out there. Safe travels. And bye for now. Thank you.
Yeah. It's so sweet. Yeah.